Okay, everybody, we're back live with Sports Talk with an Attitude. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a barn burner. The Hawks pull it out. Phoenix Suns lead the series over the Clippers 2-1. CP3 back in the lineup.
Back in the
Again, a
lineup.
little slow getting started the scoring.
Yeah, he's a
How
little
impressive
rusty.
is that Devin Booker? So we're about to go here. We got Ralph. The book is open. Booker and Molish's Barbecue here with another broadcast of our Sports Talk with Attitude. How you doing, fellas?
Outstanding.
How you doing? I like that. Outstanding.
Another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. So I called it. The Hawks.
Yeah, you did.
If you guys saw any of that game, man, it came down to the last couple seconds.
Yeah,
I watched the whole game.
They were trading off. Hawks only led in the third. That was the only quarter they led in the third. And then
so Milwaukee got to figure out something they're going to do on defense. They're going to have to come back with a different defensive strategy against the Hawks and against Trae Young. And remember, the guy that's coaching Milwaukee used to coach the Hawks.
Well,
and he just don't seem like he's making good adjustments in the playoffs, man.
It doesn't seem like he took any trade secrets with him.
Well, no, it's a different squad now.
Yeah, because nobody's there when he was there.
No, all them guys are gone.
So we had Trae. We started off with the Hawks. So we had Trae Young, 48 points in 48 minutes.
He put some work in.
Hey.
Well, they didn't go to overtime though, did they?
No.
So he couldn't have played 48 minutes.
I'm sorry, 48 points in 41 minutes. 41 minutes. 48 points, 41 minutes.
That's getting it done.
That's getting it done. That's scoring right there. He even got one of his own rebounds. He had 7 rebounds.
Yeah, he did.
11 assists.
That's the big thing. It's the 11 assists, man.
11 assists. When you get your own rebounds, and you see him getting his own rebounds, you gotta like, wait a minute, something we got to make some type of adjustments here on defense.
Well, again, Milwaukee they haven't done really well with making adjustments during the game. Seemed like to me and during the series, they just got lucky, I think, against the Nets that they weren't at full strength.
Yeah,
they play strong. They play really strong, but
but you gotta make in the game adjustments sometime. If something ain't doing right, ain't working right, you gotta adjust. And Trae Young getting 48, they gotta make some adjustments out there. They gotta let somebody else. Tell you what, if he got that ball, we're gonna double him, get that ball out of his hands. And let's see if somebody else can beat us.
Right. Y'all saw the game, so you saw the move. Who did he had get all crossed up, and then he got to do a shimmy.
Oh,
shimmy at 3-point,
That was on Drew Holiday. But again, that's a perfect play that I'm talking about, Kirk. When they did that, and if you look at that play, if we had that play, I could diagram for you where the defense was at that allowed him to be able to stand there and do a shimmy and take a shot.
Wide open.
The defense has got to be all the way up there. If your man is screening for his man, you got to get up there, and you can't let him take all that time, do a shimmy, and still hit a 3.
Wide open.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're not making any adjustments, don't seem like to me.
Right. And plus, their key players weren't even hitting the shot to the second half. I mean, the fourth quarter. They didn't start making any.
Right. But again, I'm telling you, the game is defense, baby. The game is defense.
Yeah, defense have a lot to do.
But you have to do. You can't let a guy get 48 points and shooting open shots like that without your defense without making some adjustments on defense.
Now I understand what you're saying when you're saying defense.
Because just think about it. How does he get a shot wide open like that? Because the defense is not coming up. So that means you got to design your defense that whoever is screening for Trae, that guy's got, even if it's a center, he got to be up there and make it harder for Trey to do something else. You can't let him just stand there, do a shimmy, and then whoop.
Did Holiday just give up? Because he wasn't.
No, Holiday got screened. The guy that was guarding,
he didn't get touched.
The screener didn't come up, which was touched. Right.
It looked like a screen, but he didn't get touched.
It don't, but Kirk, it don't matter if you get touched. In the NBA, when a screen is set like that out there for, the guy that's guarding the screener has got to come up.
Yes.
You just can't leave him out there by himself. Then there's one guy trying to play two.
That's true now.
So they got to make adjustments. We got to see what they're gonna do in game 2, because if they don't change anything, Atlanta gonna bust them up.
And that's one of the things that we talked about before, defense, and how many players are actually playing defense. You know,
well,
when you feel like you're scoring, you feel like you're contributing points. A lot of those guys, they don't play defense.
Right, but when you get to a series like this, the defensive unit as a team and the structure and what the scheme is that has been drawn up, that's as important as the individual defense. The scheme for the team defense is just as important. How you going to play the pick and roll? How you going to play when it's a little man screening for a big man or a big man screening for a little man? Those kind of things like that is where the adjustments are made. It is not necessarily individual defensive players. They're going to do what they do, but the team has to have some kind of defensive scheme to address the issues that the other team opposes to you.
So he had 4 3-pointers. Can you defend against that?
Can you defend against what?
Trey had 4 3-pointers.
He's gonna get a shot. I mean, usually you're trying to make it harder for him. That's all.
That's it. You get a hand in his face. You make that shot tougher. When he got time to shimmy and then shoot, you ain't even putting a hand up.
Now you put a hand up.
Right. You got to do something on defense.
And Jonas tried to block his shot and got capped in the face. He got free throws for that.
That sure did. Sent him to the line. Man, that game came down to the last couple seconds, man. That was.
Giannis made his free throws last game. He made his free throws.
Yeah. I think he went 8 out of 10 or something like that.
He only missed 2 free throws.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll see what he does.
8 out of 10 is great.
Yeah.
8 out of 10. Yeah.
Supposed to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's 80%. If you shoot 80% from the free throw line, you good.
Other top scorers for the Hawks, Horter, he knocked down 13, and Collins had 23.
Collins had a good game. Collins had a key block.
But he also hit a key 3-pointer from the corner, that deep 3. That was huge.
But everybody missed but him. Yeah. They passed that ball around.
Right. So he is finally stepping up and playing for, a really good contract. I'm still a little skeptical about giving him a max deal right now because I still need to see more.
Mm-hmm. If he plays out tight, hey, give it. He's gonna get it.
Well, I don't know if he'll get it. He might. I think he's gonna get a good contract. To me, a good contract for a guy like him is still 20 to 25 million a year. That's still a lot of money. It's just that it's just not. I'm not going to give him, 5 years or 6 years at 25 million. That's 150 million over that time frame. I need to see a little bit more on in the playoffs from him. But if you give him 80 million, if you offer him 80 million for 4 years, that's still 20 million a year. That's a heck of a contract, baby.
And then you want to find out how much he's going to get guaranteed. I want mine guaranteed. Mine.
All of it is guaranteed. In the NBA, all them contracts are guaranteed.
How's that work?
When they sign a contract, it's guaranteed. You get to that, you're going to get that money. That's the way it works. And if they trade you, the new team that picks up your contract, they got to pay it.
Well, so it's
The
not.
thing is that if the contract is too big, it makes it hard to trade you.
Yeah. And you gotta get the
So-
right piece to fit.
Right. So that's why I say I wouldn't give him a super max contract. I'd give him a really good contract so that if in a couple of years he's not living up to my expectations, or I brought in a younger player, at least I have the ability to try to trade him. If he's up making, 31, like Ben Simmons is going to make $33 million or $31 million next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. So if you take on Ben Simmons, you're taking on a 31, 33, 35 million over the next 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So, but if it's 20 million, that's different.
And that's a lot of debt to pick up on a player like Simmons.
It's a ton of debt to pick up on any player. I mean, I tell you, the guy that's going to really, if you could look up, and I've done it, you look up Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard in the last 2 years of his contract, 1 year I think he makes 51, and then the next year he makes 54.
Hey, he's worth it. That's money well spent.
Well, we'll see.
That's good.
Hey, Lillard, that's money well spent.
To me, I'm a player's guy, so I'm gonna always side with the players. If they're willing to pay you that, then you're worth it.
Yes, indeed. If they will,
But there's a whole bunch of guys that want that ain't getting that because they ain't worth that.
There you go.
And a lot of guys got big max contracts aren't worth what they get paid for.
Oh yeah. Well, again, when you sign that contract, your turn is up. It's the same thing as what they were talking about in football with Dak Prescott. It ain't, they said, well, he's not a top 5 quarterback. None of that makes any difference. The way the system is structured is that when it's your turn to come up, you get whatever, the going rate is.
Right,
If that's
right.
the going rate, that's what they pay. You don't have no choice. It ain't about how good you are and all of that stuff like that.
Oh, really? So it's the going rate at the time.
Absolutely. Either they pay the going rate or they don't.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
What choice do they have? I mean, those are the choices. You don't have to sign a guy, but you got to have somebody. If you don't sign him, you got to have somebody else to replace him that's going to pick up what he was doing.
Hey, did you check out the lottery?
I know that's right.
You see, they getting on Swim Cash. Her look, her expression when they got 10th.
Huh?
Swim Cash. You see the expression on her face when that team make it to the top 10. I mean top 5, and I think they got like 9 or 10 big draft order, and her look was just like that, and it just blew it all up over the place.
Mm.
Who's that?
Swim Cash, the GM for the Pelicans. Well, not GM, but the office who works for the Pelicans.
Oh, really? So they were trying to get
Yeah.
the first pick, you're saying?
Yeah, and they came up, I think 9th or 10th. They get 10th, and when their card came out, and the look on her face was like,
Well,
everybody's like, her face says it all.
they got the number 1 player 2 years ago.
There you
Yeah,
go.
he wants to get out of there.
You can't keep getting the number 1 player. I don't know if he does really want to get out. I think you're right, Mo, in the sense that we got a coach that we just brought in,
Right.
and 1 year we fired a coach. So now think about this. Zion Williamson, he's going to be in his 3rd year in the league with his 3rd coach.
Mm.
So if you don't get any continuity in the coaching position and the team can kind of rally behind, it's hard to win. So that means that he probably won't make the playoffs next year either.
Well, you see who Boston hired, and you see who Dallas just hired.
I didn't see who Dallas hired. Who did Dallas hire? Oh, Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
Did they make that hire already? Did they announce it?
They were doing the final work on the paperwork yesterday.
Right. They said I knew they were talking about it. And I
Yeah,
saw who Boston hired. They hired a brother from out of New Jersey.
From the Nets.
From the Nets.
Yeah, from the Nets. Yeah.
And the guy from the Dallas, he went to Indiana and got that job.
Yeah. Well, you figure that's where that's where Carlisle, he played up there. So
Right, and he coached there before also.
yeah. So that they wanted him. They were glad to get that.
Well, that's the same guy that they fired a few years ago.
Yeah, but to get him back now and see what he's did now, he won a championship.
Yep, that's true. So it's really interesting. It's when you get into this level, the money is so important. All that makes all the difference in the world.
So
Yeah.
looking at the series, we have Phoenix leading 2-1, and like we said, the Hawks are leading that series 1-0, and the Hawks play tonight.
Tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
we got the Phoenix game tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. I'm gonna be glued to the TV a little bit tonight.
A little bit tonight, glued to the tube. Yeah.
And I don't want to hear anybody say, Mo said it already, but it's okay.
What?
I may be on to something.
Yeah, I was giving you your props. That's all. I was giving you your props.
Yes,
I was
sir.
giving you your props. That's all.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying thank you very much.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yes, sir. So,
Now, are we giving props for one game? Is that what we're doing? Is that what that is?
give me props for
Yeah,
this.
I just give that one game props. That's all it is. Because
Give me props 'cause I
he's the
called
only
that
one
game.
that picked Atlanta to win that game.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I am picking him to win the series too, but he's going 7 games, but so back to
We'll see after the night. We'll see after the night what happens.
oh yeah, we might have to give them maybe not tonight, but maybe the next game. Keep the series
If Atlanta
interesting.
wins tonight, there's gonna be some problems and situations going on. Well, your mic is muted.
Muted. Yeah, so
Yeah, I was muted for a second. I had to take a quick call from my doctor's office. They just
Okay,
confirmed my
I-
appointment. We good.
All right.
what do you guys
Alright.
think about Paul George? He's looking with the Clippers, looking pretty good.
Yeah, he's trying to live up to his I guess he established his nickname of Playoff P. So I think he's trying to live up to Playoff P.
Yeah, he was happy they got a win in.
Yeah, he was. I mean, but he
he missed
showed
him.
out. He's played really well.
Yes.
Right now, I'm not convinced that he may be in the top 10 in the league. In terms of
Yeah.
players, he's a heck of a player. But right now, this is the first year we've ever seen it can be consistent. So until he shows it 2 or 3 years in a row, it's just it could be an anomaly.
I think he's showing what he's going to be.
Well, I
No,
hear you.
no, it should have been
He's
that
all
long
over the
time
court,
ago.
baby. He's
Right,
all
because he
over.
gave himself that nickname a few years ago, Playoff P, and this the first year in the playoffs that he ever done anything.
Yeah, because last year in the bubble, he didn't do nothing. He was disappeared.
That's it.
He disappeared last year.
Right. So now, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Kawhi Leonard is not there, and so now he's getting a chance to step up and really shine and
There you
show,
go.
everything that he got. But if you're a player, you show that no matter who's there.
Yeah, I mean,
When you're supposed to be at that level, you at that level no matter who's on the squad, right?
yeah, because Kawhi made it easier when he's there because everybody's on him. At least you wide open. Do what you got to do.
So we gotta figure out what that locker room talk is about that. Is it just give me the ball, Kawhi? Or is it, hey, I'm gonna
No.
spread the love, Kawhi?
Kawhi is the man on that team. Bottom line.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I understand that. He is the man, but is he
Yeah.
give me the ball, I'm the star of the show.
No,
No.
that's not how you.
No,
that's not
Kawhi
how
never
you-
like that. Kawhi, when he needs to take over the game, he's gonna take over the game. That's what he's supposed to do.
But what he also does is he gets his throughout. He plays good defense. He rebounds. He does a lot of other things. And then, like Mo said, when it's time to really step up at the end of the game to hit the big shot, he'll do that. This is the first year that Paul George has done that.
Right. And as because
And,
Kawhi is
and,
out.
and
so
keep in mind, even though he is a great player, a great free throw shooter, he still missed 2 down the stretch in Phoenix that they
When they
would have
need-
won the game.
Yep.
Now they didn't lose the game because of him, but they certainly would have won the game had he made his free throws.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, Ben Simmons, he won't even take a shot so he can go to the free throw line.
Hey, he won't even take a shot of liquor. That's how bad he is.
So you can't even give him a shot of tequila, huh?
Poor Ben.
He's a run, boy.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a couple sleepless nights right now.
No, he don't.
You know what, Kurt? I don't know if it affects him or not because he seems so
It don't.
Y'all
I'm
don't
sorry,
think so?
Book. I'm sorry, Book.
I'm
No,
just
because
saying,
he should have been practicing on his game. He should be having
Right.
to work on his game right now. Should have been working on that.
Right. But you don't think
You
that's
know what your fault is? Fix it.
I really think he had some sleepless nights because you're supposed to be able to forget the previous game, the mistakes you made, and come into the next game, fired up and ready to go. But he was playing like that for too long, and he looked like he had something on his mind during the game. So I'm thinking that he's having issues to where he's not sleeping well.
I don't know if he's not. I just
Got to
think
be thinking about this stuff.
he ain't got no confidence.
Yeah. If he having a problem sleeping because he's thinking of what he's being traded, that's what he have a problem sleeping about.
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, stuff
Yeah,
like
but-
that.
But that's done. I mean, I don't see, unless something drastically happens where nobody in the league feels any value for Ben Simmons, I don't see how he'll be back in Philly next year. I think they're going to have to trade him some kind of way to somebody. The difficult part is that he's getting paid $31 million, $33 million, and $36 million over the next 3 years.
Right.
That's the difficulty.
That's the difficult part in picking up that contract.
Yes.
Figuring out what to do with that.
Now, if you
Have to
go to
swallow
the
that
right
money.
situation, if he goes to the right situation, that could be pretty. I mean, you put him with a team like Golden State with all those shooters. You put him with another team that got other shooters like that.
Yeah, but here we go with that. He was already on a great team.
No, he wasn't. He ain't on no great team. What great team is he on?
Look how far they made it.
Yeah, the East is weak.
Yeah, anybody, he take any team out the West, they'll run the East.
They wouldn't have had the best record in the West this year
So how they get that far?
because they're
The
in a
East
weakened.
is soft.
There's a weakened conference.
Yeah.
Who they beat? They beat Washington in the first round. Who they beat in the second round?
It was in Hawks a week.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
No, I'm just asking. You guys saying the week, the East is weak.
The East
the
is
Hawks
weaker
are
than the
weak?
West. The West.
I'm
is
not.
soft.
I'm at on Hawks week.
The Hawks are coming above. They're coming around. The Hawks are coming around.
Oh my gosh.
They're-
So you're saying
coming
the
around.
Hawks are weak?
Curtis, what I'm saying, when I say the East is weak, I'm saying if you look at the record, the Philly had the best record in the East. Had they been playing in the West, they wouldn't have had the best record in the West with that same team. So
Right.
they're not a great team. They're a good team. They're not a great team. They don't have a bunch of shooters around them.
Of course.
I tell you this, Kurt.
You can't play in the East and have the best record in the West.
Yeah, you
But look,
can.
if you took the you took off the team, you took a land and put them in the West, they wouldn't have made the playoffs.
Yeah, they would have.
Come
Yeah,
on
they-
now. Come
Yeah,
on
their
now.
record was good. Yeah, their record
Come
was
on
good
now.
enough. Their record would have been
Come on now.
Mo, you go by record. If you put their record in the West, they would have made the
Come
playoffs.
on now.
What are you talking about, Mo?
Add that up.
You added up for me.
No, I'm just saying that the record was good enough to make it. But I think what you're saying is they would not have had that record if they were playing.
Exactly. If they was in the West Conference, they wouldn't have had that record.
Gotcha. I think so. I think it's Trey's time, no matter where he is, east, south, west, north.
I don't doubt that for a
Northeast,
second. I think
Southwest.
Trey is, I mean, he's proven he is a player, no question. All
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying is that Philly is not a great team. That was the premise we started with. Ben Simmons is not on a great team. The reason that they struggle is that he needs to be close to the basket, and they got a 7-footer that's 280 pounds that needs to be close to the basket. Both of them, it's not enough room for both of them to be down there. And Simmons can't hit nothing from the outside, so he don't have no choice but to be down there. But the fact that he's down there, that makes Embiid go out and shoot threes when you really want your 7-footer down in the paint, getting rebounds and blocking shots and scoring and punishing the other team in the paint. But because Ben Simmons can't do nothing from the outside, he's got to go close to the basket. That means Embiid can't be down there close to the basket where he should be.
So true.
True.
So
that's why I say if it's not about Golden State. I'm just saying if you put Ben Simmons on a team where he got some good perimeter shooters and the floor is open so he can handle the ball, get to the lane and kick it out for open shots, he'd be a much better player. It don't have to be Golden State. If there's another team that has those shooters, I think he could work with those teams.
So you're saying kind of like Paul George, you guys don't think he's a great player, even though he's playing pretty good right now. You think
No.
the help of Reggie Jackson?
He's top 10. He's top 10.
Well,
Paul George is far better than Ben Simmons.
Will ever be.
not trying to compare Paul George to Ben Simmons, but just saying Paul George's play right now.
I think Paul George he's shown this season in the playoffs that he is a heck of a player, no question.
But you don't think he's in the top 10 though? And
I need to see it more than one time because
But
he's been in the playoffs before and he didn't do it. So the 1 year that he does do it, now we're going to say we know he can do it, but he hasn't proven it. What he's proven is that he hasn't done it more times than he has done it.
right. So I'm thinking.
All I'm saying is that I'm waiting. The jury's still out for me to see him do it in the playoffs again next year and the year after that, like the other great players.
So you think it has anything to do with Patrick Beverly and Reggie Jackson, how well they're playing, which is making Paul George look a little better?
No.
No?
You look at the guys.
Reggie Jackson, I like his play.
I think
like
because they're playing so well, it makes it easier for Paul George to be able to step up and look like a better
Takes that
player.
pressure off of his shoulders, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But
You
when
have
you
to do what's
the man, why are you trying to take the pressure off of you? That's when you're supposed to thrive. That's what LeBron does. That's what Kobe does. The great players, they thrive under that pressure. They ain't trying to get away from the pressure to take the pressure off of them.
No, I'm just saying that because Reggie and Patrick Beverly's playing so well, it makes it easier for Paul George to look a lot better.
Beverly had one good game. And he, like Westbrook said, Beverly got y'all all fooled. You think he's playing good D. Oh, he out there running like he running around crazy. That's all he's doing.
That's all he's doing?
Westbrook said that. That's all he's doing. He got y'all think he's doing something. But watch him. Sometimes he makes stupid mistakes where he's too much on him. He knows he's hacking him. But, just play the game right. And
well, the deal is,
he acts too much with those fouls. He acting too much,
Well, he's playing like that. And if the referees don't call it, you get to keep playing like that.
You can keep playing
the only
like
way
that.
you can get him to back off is the referees start calling them fouls that he be committing.
There you go. And evidently, he's not fouling enough.
Well, yeah, they're not calling it enough. Let's say that.
Yeah,
he's fouling.
He's fouling, bro. He
definitely fouling. Patrick Beverly plays a physical, tough, on you, in your job kind of game.
Yes,
and
sir.
he does commit a lot of fouls. They don't call them all, but anytime they call a foul on Patrick Beverly, even if it's close, I don't say a word because he gets away with a lot of fouls that don't call.
Yeah. He got three. There's three that didn't call before that they could have called on him.
Think about when Golden State played against them and he was guarding Kevin Durant. All he was doing is hacking and fouling Durant. He can't guard Durant.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but they didn't call it. But they didn't call all those fouls. They'd have called him. He'd have been sitting on the bench with 6 fouls.
Well, he's playing against Durant, so not much you can do with that.
But fouling.
But foul. That's exactly it.
Like I said, when Westbrook said that just had you watch his game. He's just out there running around like a madman.
Him and Westbrook got some history though.
I was about to say there's gotta be something there for him to say.
Right, they got some history. So when Patrick Beverly was at Houston and Westbrook was in Oklahoma, remember that year that he hit him and it caused him to miss a couple of games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why Westbrook, they got beef.
And here's my thought on this also. If the team makes it this far into the playoffs and you're one of the starters, you're doing something.
No question.
Yeah,
No question.
So
I
what do you
agree with
guys-
that 100%.
What do you think about-
If you're a starting player
Yes,
on a
sir.
team that's in the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference
Yes, sir.
Finals,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
You're doing something.
no question.
You
But
contributed.
the people that make that big money, like Paul George and those guys, we expect something extra from them, and we expected whether or not they got good teammates or not.
Well,
Because you look at KD, he dropped 49, and his two best guys are sitting on the bench over there. They hurt, but that didn't stop KD from going out there and making it happen as best he could.
but
Paul
we are.
George ain't shown none of that when his teammates ain't getting it done.
he's
Like you
shown-
say, he
oh,
only show it when the other players on the team are playing well too. That's what you brought out,
that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you on that one. Yeah.
right?
When other guys
Yeah.
are firing on all cylinders, he seems to be
Yeah.
firing on all cylinders.
But we expect Paul George to be firing on those cylinders whether the other guys are doing it or not. Though that's the difference when you start talking about superstar,
Mhm.
So why does he have such a name?
because he was ascending so fast when he was at Indiana, and then he got that leg broke.
Yeah.
He was
Playing for
on
the
this
Olympics.
right. He was on the ascend. Matter of fact, there were people saying he was like the top 3 players in the league. He
Mm.
was his star was rising like that. He got injured. That's part of the game. But then when he came back, he had an expectation he's going to do the same thing, and he just hasn't proven it. He went to Oklahoma City. He didn't get it done there. Now he's out in LA. And the only reason he went to LA is because Kawhi said, "I want to play with him." He wouldn't even be there if Kawhi didn't. After they won the championship in Toronto, Kawhi was a free agent that summer. And he could have went to the Lakers. He could have went to the Clippers. He could have went anywhere. He said, "I want to go to the Clippers." And then he told his team, "I want you to go get Paul George." So whatever the Clippers had to do to get Paul George, that's
Wow.
what they did.
That's impressive, right? For Kawhi to say, "I want to play with this guy."
Yeah, if they friends, you got guys that got these relationships that we have no idea about in the NBA. And if they buddies, man, we're gonna play together. And if Kawhi said, "Hey, okay, I'm gonna make it happen because I got the power. I just want to play with my friend."
Yeah. Somebody knows each other.
Right. That don't make you super. That don't make you great.
No, that does not. But he's carrying his name around with him, and we're speaking about him right now.
Well,
As do
yeah,
others.
because he's in the playoffs and he's starting, like you
There you
said.
There you go.
We have to talk about him.
Gotta talk about him.
Right. But what I'm saying is that I need to see this kind of greatness, this kind of good play for more than just one playoff season.
During regular season.
No,
It's gotta
during
be
the playoffs,
But you got to do it every
you don't
year.
play during the regular season. The playoffs is where you make your name at.
There you go. Oh, really?
And so this is the first year that he's really played like this in the playoffs. He hasn't done this before. So I'm saying I need to see him play like this next year in the playoffs, whether they win or not. Next year when the playoffs come, I want to see Paul George doing this with Kawhi Leonard on the floor. I think if him and Kawhi were doing it together, nobody would beat him.
Mm. Nobody beat
Hey, let me
that.
ask you a question since it's about their togetherness. Ralph,
Yes, sir.
in any era, who you also, Kurt, but who was the best 1-2 tandem did you think that played the game? I got 2 to come to mind right away.
Well, my 2 is mine is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Magic and Kareem.
Okay. Kurt,
I'm always going to go with the Jordan and Pippen.
That's
okay.
a good. Yeah.
And mine was Kobe and Shaq. Them 2 together, you couldn't touch them.
Mm.
Couldn't touch them.
Once they got past their issues.
It's just, yeah. When they played together,
Well,
nobody
won-
could touch them.
They won 3 in a row, so
Yeah,
whatever
I'm
their
trying to
issues
say.
were, they were
Yeah,
able to put their
Yeah.
issues aside for a little while
Yeah.
anyway.
but
Hey, it wasn't an
and-
issue.
and- and-
It
and
wasn't an
those
issue.
are the three tandems. All three of y'all said the things I was thinking.
There you go.
So we're all on that same level right there.
Magic and Kareem, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what they've done, you know,
that was top right there. Then you got
that's all I can go
Jordan
by.
and Pippen,
You know,
Oh yeah.
and then Kobe and Shaq.
yeah. I mean,
'Cause,
if you look
they're
at
right there.
yeah, you look at what they've done. I don't know any other two that would be close.
And
Who was
I'm
the
not-
second best? Who was the second best player with Houston when Akeem was there?
Drexler?
No, Drexler wasn't there with those championships. He won one.
Yes,
he
he
wasn't
did.
there for. He
The-
wasn't
the
there for
first
both
one-
of the. He
No,
was
he was
not
there for the
there
first
for both.
one.
He was not there for both of those championships, Mo.
Can I finish saying what I gotta say, Ralph? Hold on,
Go
man.
for it.
I'm about to say. I said no. Drexler came the second time. The first time it was Ori, Sam Cassell,
Right.
Vernon
That's what I'm saying.
Maxwell.
No
Yeah.
superstar. But then if you take Moses and Dr. J out of Philly, that was a good tandem too.
Yeah,
Moses
But I'm just
Malone
saying-
and Julius, Moses and Julius.
but the guys we just reached, those three pairs we just said, they all won multiple championships.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's what I was talking about right there. Those
Right.
everything you just couldn't touch it. And they're all different eras too. They're all three different eras.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was it. That was it. You couldn't touch it. Couldn't touch it.
Yeah, no question about it. It's going to be very difficult to find anything in the modern era around the NBA that don't include Lakers, though.
Yeah.
Ever.
And I'm the number one hater. I'm the number one hater. But I'll give them that props.
You ain't got
I'll
no
give them that props.
choice.
No
You
choice.
ain't got no choice.
Lakers
You
are always
won
going to be
when
in
you
it.
won 17 championships. You
Yeah.
can try to not give them their props, but you can't get away. How can you not give them their props? They
Can't-
won
can't
more
get around
championships than anybody else in the league history.
Can't get around it. Can't get around it. There'll always be Lakers will always be in the conversation.
Always, no matter what.
Yes, they got great coaching, great weather out in LA.
Right. Even if you go back to the beginning of the NBA, when George Michael was playing with the Lakers up in Minneapolis, guess what? They were still winning, baby. So the Lakers are always going to be in the mix. What? Jerry West? Who's the logo? Jerry West, the Lakers.
Yeah. So tell me something, Booker. How
Yes, sir.
impressive is he? He's wearing a face mask from a broken nose.
Yeah.
He said that his play, that broken nose, the mask that he's wearing, is not affecting his game. But he's 5 out of 21.
Well, I
thought
think
have
that,
off night.
I think part of that is as an athlete, as a player, as a professional, you kind of have to say, no, the mask is not giving me the problem.
Right.
We know that if you stick something on your face, it's gonna irritate you a little bit. It's gonna throw you off a little bit because you got some other things working.
So true.
But he's supposed to say that. If he said, oh yeah, it's the mask, and everybody, I'd be looking at him like, okay, bro, but you're making all this money.
Making all this money. Now you're making excuses.
Right.
So he'll take the 5 from 21 from the field, say, no, it's not an issue, but we notice a difference in play since he's been wearing a mask.
Well, that plus, again, did the Clippers make some adjustments on defense as a team to address what he was doing? And if they did,
Yeah.
it may be more of that than the mask that caused that 5 to 22. But it ain't a player out there that ain't never had a bad game. Everybody's had bad games. Everybody's had bad shooting nights. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
So it could have been just a bad shooting night too.
Yeah.
We'll see tomorrow.
It could be the defense. It could be that now Chris Paul is back. They have to readjust themselves. There's a number of things that could have went into that last night.
They were playing slower yesterday with Chris Paul.
Well, yeah, both of them, they started off slow. Chris Paul and Booker, they started off slow.
Well, they were.
I'm talking about
They were.
team-wise, they played
I
slow.
think they were as a crew, those two, they were like 10 out of 40 for the game.
Right. Oh yeah,
So that's only like 25%.
that's it.
Now, how often has that happened this season? And do we think it's going to happen again? I don't think so.
No, I think Booker's.
That's
gonna be-
rare that they go 10 for 40. Come on.
I think he's worried about getting hit in the face,
Nah,
so he may not drive as much.
I don't think he's worried about getting in the face. No.
nah.
He
He
got a
don't drive
broken
that much
nose, man.
anyway.
He got a broken nose.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
don't
but that
drive.
ain't gonna stop the play.
That ain't how he got the broken nose. He got the broken nose with Patrick Beverly way out there on the 3-point line.
Headbutt him, right? Bumped his head right at him.
Yeah, so driving to the basket don't. I don't think that's a reason for it. But again, you know, it's a new game. They were in Los Angeles too. That makes a difference when you playing at home versus playing on the road. A lot of the time you don't shoot the ball as well. The basket, the lighting on the basket, the number of different things. Let's see how he plays tomorrow night.
Saturday.
Right, tomorrow.
Yep, Saturday.
Yeah, that's Saturday. Let's see how he plays Saturday.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. It's all gonna happen on Saturday, whether it's Saturday night, Saturday morning, Saturday
Tomorrow.
afternoon. It's still gonna happen on Saturday, right?
Tomorrow.
Right.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Saturday.
Saturday night,
Let's
Saturday
see.
morning, Saturday
Let's-
afternoon.
Yeah,
All of it's the same. They're
Let's
playing
see how
on
he-
Saturday.
let's see how he plays.
Right. So that I think a lot of those things will make a difference. But a guy like that has that kind of confidence as a shooter, you can believe me, he gonna come out firing tomorrow.
I hope. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
A shooter gonna shoot. Look at Andrew Toney. Andrew Toney, he could burn you down one day and be off the next. You know what I'm saying? But he's gonna continue shooting his shot. He'll
Got
shoot
to.
22 times. That's what they do.
Yeah. And so that's why I say tomorrow night, morning, afternoon, we'll see.
Mhm.
Vinny the Microwave from Detroit. He'll light you up. And then sometimes you won't hear from him. You know, he just have bad nights.
Instant offense.
Yeah.
Anything to do with coaching any of these teams?
Well, yeah, I do believe that Ty Lewis is really doing well with some of the adjustments he's made as a coach, especially in the other two series. You know,
Who's
that
Ty
they
Lewis?
won. I said
Who's Ty
Ty
Lewis?
Lue. I said Ty Lue.
I thought you said Ty Lewis. My bad.
No,
My bad,
Ty
sir.
Lue.
I can't hear it. I can't hear
Okay.
it. I'm
All right,
sorry,
they get-
sir.
That's all right. You know they got that stuff you can drop in your ears, right?
Yeah, I know.
But no, but Ty Lewis he's made some really good adjustments as a coach, and so of course you can see Monty Williams over there with Phoenix. He's coaching his butt off. You see he designed that play for the lob pass to win the game. Coaching makes a difference.
Oh yes.
Now you got to have your players to go out there and run the play you tell them to run. Sometimes
Yeah.
coach draw up a great play and they don't go out there and run it.
Yeah, they got to execute it.
Right. Now, I will tell you this though, Coach Budenholzer, I'm not a big fan of his, but he made 3 great adjustments after timeouts. They came out of the timeout and they ran 2 different lob passes for Giannis to get baskets when they needed them, which was huge. Because that's what you want to do. If you call timeout and you design a play and you want your team to go out there and run it and they execute it and they get the bucket, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I just don't think coaches get enough credit. We hear a lot about the players because they're executing the plays. They are making the plays, but coaching, they just don't seem to get all the credit I think they deserve.
I agree. They deserve a lot of credit, no question.
And some deserve a lot of blame, too.
Well, it depends. You know, the one thing I always say when it comes down to coaching and decisions that they made about they played this player or didn't play that player, my first question that comes to mind is, okay, how many of us are in practice, watching this player in practice? How many of us are sitting around having conversations with these players to understand that mentality. The coach is the one that's doing that. So when I hear fans say, man, they should have put so-and-so in the game, but that's just from the outside. We don't know none of the inside details about that player, the coach, the relationship, things he's done. Did he execute, the plays that I call? Well, if he never executes them, why am I put him in when I need a play executed? If he don't do what I tell him to do. So, the one thing about it as a fan, we got to be real careful when we jump on coaches that they have more insight about their team than anybody outside of the team, because they're the only ones with them every day, all day, on the bus, at the hotel, in shoot-arounds, at practice. Hey, but want somebody that's like that. That's the coach.
Mm.
So we just speculating as fans as to he ought to did this, he should have did that. All we doing is speculating. Coach is making decisions. That's like the old saying in the NBA and in basketball is the assistant coaches, man, he got a great assistant. Well, assistant coaches make suggestions. The head coach makes decisions.
Wow.
And that's the difference.
And another big difference is I will take assistant coaches' money.
Oh yeah, they depending on the assistant coach, they make good money. I mean, if you're the head assistant coach on the NBA team, you're making $1 million probably at least.
That'll work.
Yeah, I mean, because to get a great assistant coach, to be the #1 assistant coach for the NBA team with players making $30 million, if you're not paying your assistant coach, a great assistant coach, $1.5 million, your franchise ain't going very far. You ain't winning a whole lot. I mean, those assistant coaches, they make a big difference to the team. Now, if you're the third assistant or the fourth, scout and that kind of thing, you might be making $450, $500, $350. But if you're making $350 and you're the third assistant, because when you go on the road, you get per diem checks too and all that stuff. So, $350 is still a pretty good life for assistant coach.
Hey, I ain't mad. I would take it.
Hey, I'll sign up right away.
I pay for my own meals.
If you're on transportation?
No, I want the per diem. If I'm gonna get the job, I want everything to come with the job.
Mm. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, you want that per diem. The NBA per diem, man, on a road trip, I think it's seems like it's $150 a day or something or more, maybe. So you go on a 2-week road trip, you going for 10 days, and you're getting $150 a day for food. That's $1,500. You can't eat $1,500 in 10 days.
I could try.
You wouldn't even try. I'm telling you, when you get out of the game, man, first of all, when you come out of the game, there's a big spread of food in the locker room.
Ready to eat. Yeah.
They got a spread for the reporters and the assistant coaches. So if you eat that, you don't even have to go out to a restaurant to eat. You can just go back to your hotel if you want to, order some room service or not, get you a sandwich. But the $150 a day still come, whether you use it or not, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's entertain. You got to entertain.
Well, think about it. But if you're making $30 million, do they really need to give you $150 a day? You can't eat. If you make it $30 million, you can't eat. Come on.
You're eating pretty good, I think.
But it's all about the CBA, the contract, the Players Association contract that they negotiated with the player. The per diem is a part of that. $150, $200 a day per diem, whatever that per diem is for NBA players.
You eating good.
Well,
hey,
yeah.
You're not eating no bologna sandwiches.
Only if you want to.
Exactly. No cup of noodles. No more cup of noodles.
No ramen noodles, none of that. Only if you want to. Because
Right.
it ain't because you got to, because you got enough money to eat, But then again, think about this. There are players also on the roster, the 10th, 11th, 12th player. if they're young, they might not be making but $400,000, $500,000 a year. Now, that ain't no money in the NBA when you start comparing it to other players. But if they're going to, 10-game road trip, he still gets the same $150 a day. So that's $1,500 more bucks he put in his pocket for food.
Mhm.
So it's the way this thing is set up. There's so much money involved in it, man. It's unbelievable.
Well, fellas, I want to thank you guys for hopping on today.
Appreciate you.
We're gonna have
Yes,
a whole lot
sir.
to talk about come Monday. With 2 games going by, we're gonna know how much better, how much closer those Hawks are going to be.
Yeah.
All to winning it.
Well, so let me ask you a question. If the Hawks win, if the Hawks play tonight, right? Friday night,
Yes, sir.
Right.
do they come back and play Sunday or do they wait till Monday after that?
Well, they'll be traveling home. They'll be home the next game. So I think that might be a Sunday game
Well,
because Phoenix and Clippers are playing every other day, and now the
Right.
Clippers are home. So yeah, they should play Sunday
It's
at
Sunday
home.
night game then, huh?
so
So
that's
that
what I'm
should
saying.
be Sunday
We may have the Hawks may have played 2 games before we get back on Monday. We may know if they up
Hey.
3-1. They might be up 3-1 when we get back on here.
Kurt, can you pull the schedule up?
They'll be up 3-0.
Can you pull the schedule
Well,
up? Kurt?
that's right. I'm sorry, Kurt. You're right. 3-0, not 3-1.
Yeah, 3.
Or they could be down 2-1.
Kurt,
No.
can you pull the schedule up?
Yeah. Keep on talking. I want no dead air time.
Hey,
Yeah.
pull the schedule up. Pull the schedule
Yeah,
up. Pull the
he's
schedule
pulling up the schedule. He wants us to keep talking so there's no dead time. Well, that's what I'm saying. The Hawks got a chance to be up 3-0.
Or
They
2-1.
could be up 2-1. They could be down 2-1.
2-1. Yeah. We'll find out tonight how they're gonna be though.
Well, yeah, we'll know one of them if they win tonight. If they win tonight, and then they come home and win, they could be up 3-0. They could sweep them.
Yeah, the pressure's gonna be all on Milwaukee. Somebody,
Yes, sir.
if Atlanta sweeps Milwaukee, somebody getting fired.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, if Milwaukee don't win this series, period, any kind of way, if Milwaukee loses this series to Atlanta,
What's
I
it,
guarantee
Bill?
you, Budenholzer, the coach of Milwaukee, is going to be gone.
I believe that's what's going to happen. I believe the Hawks are going to win the series. So they do play Sunday night.
Okay, there you go.
And then they'll play Tuesday at 8:30.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's every other day. Every other day.
right, every other day. So they play tonight and Sunday. So by the time we get on Monday, we'll have a good idea about where the Hawks are in this whole process.
Yeah, it'll be game
Yeah.
3.
And
They may be ready to sweep them by
Yes,
that
sir.
time.
and the Clippers and Phoenix either be tied or Phoenix be up 3-1.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll see. It won't be but a second here. We'll figure this deal out, see what's going on.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be a hot weekend, players. It's gonna be a hot weekend.
So are we gonna pick this weekend's games?
I think we should.
We can do that. We can do that.
Okay. So tonight we have the Hawks in Milwaukee.
Tonight, the book is going with Milwaukee. Milwaukee, they're desperate. They gotta win.
Yeah, I don't think their birds be cold like they were.
Yeah, they're playing at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
I'll
picking
go
Milwaukee and Phoenix tonight. Well, tonight and tomorrow.
Mo?
On Milwaukee and LA.
The more you say they're gonna tie it up 2-2, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
You take them Clippers, huh?
All right, Kurt. Where you at?
For me, I'm going with the Hawks.
Okay.
And the Clippers.
All right. I'm out there by myself. I got Milwaukee and Phoenix.
Oh.
Yes, indeed.
Fellas, have a safe weekend.
Right,
Look
brother.
forward to seeing you Monday.
You cooking this weekend, Mo?
No, not this weekend. I'm going to my best friend, his wife's birthday celebration Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm not cooking this weekend. No.
Okay, that'll work.
But next weekend is 4th of July weekend, so I probably will be cooking then.
I'm sure you got to cook a little something for 4th of July, right?
Oh yeah. I always do.
All right.
So,
All right,
fellas,
well,
be
brothers,
safe.
be safe. All right, thank you.
Well, fellas, thanks for hopping on.
Kurt.
Thank you for coming on for another broadcast of Sports Talk with Attitude. This broadcast was brought to you today by Curtech Inc., the technology company specializing in computer network support for a small to medium-sized business. If you need some network server rack support, call Curtech at 470-615-7209. You can find them on curtechinc.com. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. We're looking forward to moving this thing forward. We got some great news. Ralph and I, the book, we're going to talk about it offline.
Here we are.
Moving forward with this podcast and some other bigger things. So stay tuned for Sports Talk with an Attitude. Thank you very much, everybody.
Peace.